Um,
Okay.
and you know, and I let them into the challenge groups, and you know, but I definitely found that, you know, in 18 months worth of this, people that don't buy Shakeology, they just don't do as well. And I believe in Shakeology. I just personally, for me and my health, I can see a difference in it. I can tell a difference in my sugar cravings. Obviously, I talk a lot about the fact that it helps my PMDD. Um, but and I think a lot, also part of it is, you know, it's fast and it's easy. And I mean, you can use these points when you're talking to people about it. You know, it's fast, it's easy, it's a meal that you don't even have to think about, you know.
Exactly. It's $4
Yeah, it's four
a
bucks.
day.
I mean, if you can, I mean, you can sign people up as discount coaches from the beginning, or, you know, or not. And if they love it, they can switch to a discount coach. As a discount coach, it's like, it's three something, you know, a meal. So, you know, most people spend more than that on one coffee a day,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly.
And
I know.
so, and then also, I think part of it is the investment. Honestly, you know how when
Right.
you invest in something like that, you're more likely to, you know, to drink it, obviously, and to really, you know, just reap the benefits from it.
Yeah.
So, and to stick with it. You know, I find that when I invest in something, I'm more likely to stick with it. So,
Yeah.
but my point being that you'll have a lot of people that will say no. But I can't tell you, I mean, I would probably say like 75% of the people that tell me no eventually come around,
Okay.
you know, honestly. So
Yeah.
just, you know, always leave that door open.
Okay.
You know, just say, I understand, you know, if you want to just get the workout program, you know, I can help you with a meal plan, or I can help you get started, or if you just want some ideas and some recipes, I'm here. And if you decide you want to do a challenge group later, you know, I just always say I run one, at least one every single month. So,
Okay.
you know, and that way people don't think I'm just trying to make a sale, because I'm not. I really want to help people. And,
Right.
you know, that's what a lot of my posts, and we're going to talk about that tonight, is my posts that I post every day. Yeah, I want to get challengers. Yeah, I want to hit Success Club and make money, but I want to add value to people's
Right.
lives. And, you know, I want people to know that I'm not just in it for a sale. So,
Right. Right. So yeah, that was something else I wanted to ask you, is because I've got a few people that are like, well, do I, do I have to buy Shakeology to be in the challenge group? And some people, I mean, I think it would be that if they didn't even buy a workout program, then they shouldn't be in the challenge group,
no,
right?
because I think they're going to be lost. You know,
Yeah.
like the purpose of the challenge group is to give them direction. And, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, I'm not a certified personal trainer.
Right.
You know, Beachbody has done all that for me. And so, I mean, the workout program really, I mean, like, especially if they're already at a gym, or if, I mean, compared to a gym membership, you know, buying the workout program is like nothing. So, you know,
Exactly.
yeah. And you know, the way I do that is, I mean, I run free groups from time to time, like week-long groups. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm tired. My eyes are funny. But that's usually, it's like a 7-day group where we talk about meals, or do like a daily workout challenge or something. But yeah, the challenge group is designed, you know, for them to have a workout program that they follow, and then to check in every single day, you know, in the meal plan
Yeah.
and everything like that. So yeah, if they don't have a workout program, again, I would just offer to, you know, like share a meal plan with them, or
Okay.
you know, just give them some ideas maybe
Okay.
as far as workouts. But yeah,
Okay.
just, you know, help. But,
Yeah.
you know, just say the challenge group is for people who have a workout program and Shakeology. So,
Okay. One of the documents said that you should start a general fitness and health discussion group on Facebook,
yeah.
like page, and that can be a place where you invite, I guess, folks who haven't committed to be a
Yeah.
part. I just kind of wondered, Jones has his business where he does the high-end weddings with Mason Jar, and then he started a budget brand,
Ah.
but he don't want to take away from Mason Jar
Mhm.
by
Yeah.
promoting the budget brand more so. So I just didn't know,
Yeah.
how do you balance? What do you do with that? Do you have a general fitness page?
I do. I do. I guess I do. But I found that nobody posted. You
Okay.
know, honestly, nobody interacted. And again, I think it's just nobody. I mean, in the challenge group, if they have a challenge pack or workout program, they have a plan. You know, they have something to follow. They have a program. And so, like, I was adding people, you know, I would go through the whole conversation. They didn't want to buy a program or Shakeology or anything. I'm like, okay, well, I can add you to my general fitness accountability group. I can't remember what it was called. And, you know, I'll post there from time to time. I'll share recipes. But I kind of found I was sharing what I was sharing on my personal page anyways. And I didn't really, I mean, since I do work full time, I didn't have the time to commit to, like, posting something in there every day.
Yeah.
And I felt like, well, that's just basically the same thing as a challenge group.
Yeah.
So, and even when I was posting, people weren't really interacting, you know,
Okay.
kind of awkward. So I don't think it would benefit you. I mean, you could try it if you just felt like you needed to, but I don't think it would benefit you that much.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, you're fine. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I'm excited because I think that I've got about 3 people who are probably committed to it, just out of the people who were, you know, showing interest, because, you know, after I've got to the conversation about, the Beachbody program, showing them the videos and talking about Shakeology, they're like, yeah, this sounds great.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just getting them to that point. And I think I figured out how to get one of them all the way to the website with my /Becca FJ, and then click on shop and
and you can also send them a direct link to the challenge pack. And so, like, when you do, it'll have your coach ID, and then so if you send them that, when they create their account to buy the challenge pack, it'll automatically make you their coach. So I can show you how to do that too.
Okay, good.
That's typically what I do. I used to do that. Like, in the beginning, I would send them to my website. I'd say, create an account, go to Beachbody Challenge, and then challenge packs, and you can pick it there, which works. But now I just send a direct link to the challenge pack with my coach ID. And I say, create an account. When you do, it should say that I'm your coach, complete your order, choose your Shakeology flavor, you know, and that's it.
Okay.
But I can show you how to do that.
Okay.
And you can, like I told Christy the other day, if you go into your Coach Online office and go to news and training, and you go to the FAQ, it's under news, and you search, like, if you're looking for the PIO challenge pack, you can search it, and there'll be the order link. You just have to put in your Coach ID at the end where it says your ID. But I can walk you through that too.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'd like help walking through that.
Yeah.
I don't need to hog all the conversation. I just have so many questions.
No,
so, Christy,
I'm sure it's helping Christy too.
It is. It for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's something else I was thinking about, but I've lost my train of thought, so it'll come back to me.
Okay. Christy, do you want me to go ahead and just, I mean, like, I'm just going to talk about your posting, your inviting. I'm talking about pictures. And, you know, obviously your coach announcement, which, Becca, you've already done. That's gone with. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. But before I forget, I did remember. So once I get them signed up, and so my group doesn't start till January 4th, how do I keep them engaged, or what do I need to tell them for what's next? That was a question.
If you had enough people, I would say if you had 3 people and they wanted to start now, I mean, we can start a challenge group whenever you want to.
Okay.
You know, that's up to you. I can help you do it. I can run it, or you can run it, and I can just be in there. I have, like I said, I have the guide, like my guides that I use that I can share with you, and you can tweak it to suit you. But, you know, like the main thing that I suggest is definitely getting them in a challenge group sooner rather than later. You know, and some people may be like, you know, I want to wait until after the holidays. I want to wait until January 1st or whatever. But the sooner they get in a challenge group, the sooner they start, you know, meal planning and doing their workouts and stuff, the more success I believe that they have. So if you have people that buy challenge, but what is today? The 8th? Like, if you had people that buy challenge packs this week, you could start a challenge group on Monday, you know?
Okay.
And, you know, do a 30-day one, and then you could roll them over into your January one if they, you know, they wanted to keep going. So, but yeah, the sooner people get started, especially once they buy their challenge pack, the sooner they start drinking their Shakeology and doing their workout, the more likely they're going to stick with it and stick with their Shakeology and, you know, continue down that path. So if you have the people to do it, I say start a challenge group, and I can help you. It's not a problem. Okay. Does that
And
make
if they want to wait until January, then like in the meantime,
you
I
can
just
like
stay connected with them and
yeah, they can, they can start as soon as people order a challenge pack. When they order a challenge pack, they get a 30-day free trial to Beachbody On Demand. And so like within 24 hours, they can start doing their workouts. They can start looking at their meal planning guide, and start doing that. They just won't have the Shakeology and stuff. But yeah, I would just help them like, they can check in with you every day if they wanted to. You can help them get started, like just tell them how to take their measurements and before pictures. You can share with them some sample meal plans that you have. I have some too you can have, and just, get them started that way. And, you could be checking in with them once a week or something like that, just see how they're doing. And then, they could jumpstart with the challenge group in January.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've thought about doing is so many of the people that I've talked with, and even some of my really good friends, like that is one of their hang-ups as far as, oh, I can't meal plan, or I don't know how, I'm not organized enough. So for those, like I've got 2 friends. I have WhatsApp. I don't know if I'll use that app or not, but there's a group of 5 girls that we talk every day, multiple times a day, and 2 of them say they're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So like I shared my recipe that I did for dinner tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Just like trying to get them jump started, because I know one of them is really concerned about meal planning. So that's what I thought, and I felt that way when I started that weekend that we did our meal planning and everything in the group. I was like, gosh, I'm glad I have meal planned before, or I've eaten clean, strictly before, because it's a lot to take in.
It's very
really
intimidating.
All I had to do was figure out the container concept and wrap my mind around that. Before I started pinning recipes before we actually started meal planning, like after you and I started doing Facebook conversations, I immediately went to Pinterest and just started grabbing recipes and then going back through them.
Yeah.
So that may be something to help them with.
And one thing, you two especially, and I know, Christy, you work full-time, you got a baby, and it might be like a little overwhelming, but you could start small. I would do a blog, honestly, and start compiling recipes so that whenever you do start challenge groups, and I always tell my challengers, start simple, like with your meal plan. I'm talking like a protein and a carb and a veggie, don't try casseroles or, whatever, because you're always left with like, well, how many containers do I use, And so, and there is a book, like there's a Fixate cookbook. But I would definitely start compiling your recipes on your blog so that you can send people there. And that way, you can say, well, here are some recipes that I use frequently, or, just compile recipes in some manner. And it definitely, as you create your meal plan, start saving them. And I do that a lot when people are like, I have no idea where to start. And I'm like, well, here's a few of my meal plans. And you can, if you need recipes, I can send you a recipe if you have questions. But a lot of times it's like a grilled piece of chicken and a sweet potato and steamed broccoli. That's how I suggest people start with meal planning. Because it's not as overwhelming. And then as you get used to using the containers or whatever it is you're doing, then you can start venturing out and trying, harder recipes and things like that.
Yeah, I found it so helpful to find the recipes that told me the containers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's tons out there. And, you can send people to Pinterest,
I want to grab a bunch of them already though, but that is, it was helpful because I was that same way. I'm like, well, how do I figure this out? It's got multiple ingredients in it, but if it told and I felt like it was a reliable looking website, then I don't go with those.
Yeah. And there's lots of other coaches out there that have blogged and done stuff like that. And then there's just other people who just use the 21-day fix and have recipes. But Pinterest is full of good ideas. So you could start a board and share it with people or something like that. Does that help? Okay. So Becca, you launched your coach announcement. That went really, really well. I would even suggest doing it again. Did you do it twice or did you just do it once?
Once, but Jones reposted it.
Yes, that's what it was. And I would even suggest doing it. You could either do it again, like what's today? Tuesday. You could either do it again tomorrow night, Thursday night, or, wait until next Sunday night, whatever. I definitely would recommend doing it again, like at a different time of day.
Okay. Same post.
Yeah. You could reword it. You could use a different picture, but essentially the same post. Yeah. Yeah. I would use a different picture probably,
Okay.
just to spice it, not because there's anything wrong with yours, just to,
Right.
attract a different, just make it different.
Okay, I did have a question about the, inviting 3 people a day. What counts as an invite? Because the building relationship part, I feel like you've said and what I've been reading is so key. And I don't want to just jump into.
Yes. Okay, that's a good question. A very good question.
Yeah. Does that count as an invite for that day to just reach out to somebody?
Yes. Right now, I would focus on definitely inviting at least one person, just flat out inviting. But your other contacts, relationship building things could be like you comment, somebody has a birthday, you send them a happy birthday message, or somebody posts a picture of their kids and their family, and you're like, oh, your family is so cute, because you're going to connect. Like Christy said today, she had somebody from high school reach out to her.
Cool.
Just start making connections that way. You can send a private message for sure. But, I find that a lot of people that if I just go in and make a comment on something that they do, and it's genuine, I don't just go in and just say something to say something, I really look at their page and see what's going on in their life. Or, if their kids are really cute, I'm like, your kids are stinking cute. Your family looks so happy, and so like a genuine, comment, but that is a conversation starter a lot of times. And I'll find that those people, it kind of breaks the ice. And one thing too, guys, is, I was so scared to invite people, but I can't tell you how many times I've invited somebody, I've reached out to them and they've been like, I've been following your post. I've been wanting to ask you about it. I just wasn't sure, and so, don't be afraid. And I say this a lot, and I don't mean this in a bad way towards anyone else, but we're not selling candles. We're selling fitness and health, and it's not even selling it. You're just inviting somebody to do it, and so don't be afraid to offer that to somebody.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I was, I've just been trying to, do the professional development stuff. I picked up a book off of Jones's shelf, the Zig Ziglar Secrets of Closing the Sale. And one of the things that stuck out to me was one of the first pages was believe that your customer can handle the purchase or whatever, like whatever you're offering. And I thought, you know what, that's so good because you just decide that that what you're doing is good.
Yeah.
And your intent is to help people and they can handle the price really.
Yes.
And it's just a matter of deciding whether or not they want to do the investing.
And explaining it. I think that's where so many coaches, they're so intimidated by saying $140 or $160. But you have to, like you said, you have to believe in the value yourself before you can get people to jump on board. If you think it's a crazy price, obviously that $140, $50 sounds like a lot of money. But when you break it down and you think about the fact that most people do go through a Starbucks drive-thru every day, or like for me, I was drinking 2 or 3 Diet Cokes a day. That was easily, the cost of my Shakeology, and I don't do that anymore. And I take it from my grocery budget. It just, you just have to, so when you get objections like that, talk about those kind of things in your post, like your general post, like if I invite a lot of people who say, I don't have the money right now, it's Christmas time, whatever, I'm not going to call somebody out and be like, well, I just saw you buy a Michael Kors bag, at Belts, but right. I might make a post about it, I've seen people post about a picture of a bag, a Michael Kors bag, or, a picture, it doesn't have to be a picture of Shakeology, but, just something health related, and say, what is more valuable to you? Obviously this lasts for a little while. Your health is going to last, hopefully, a lifetime, and just say what's, weigh it out, what's more important to you. So you can address those kind of things in your post. And I didn't do that at first. I wasn't bold enough, but, now I do, and it helps people and they understand it. If you get the time objection, if you have a lot of people say, I don't have time to work out, you can write a post about, hey, I just took 30 minutes out of my day. It's done. I don't have to think about it anymore. I feel better. It gives me energy, just whatever these objections that you might get, you can address those in your daily posts. And that's a good way to do it, because some people they won't listen unless they see it in action. And that's where the being proof of the products and, the process, being proof that the process does work. So that's a good way to do that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. Christy, you said you're going to launch your business. Do you have any questions about doing that?
I don't think so. Not now. I will tomorrow, I'm sure.
I love both of y'all, your posts are so good. Like, I knew that you guys would be good at this, but like you just kind of jumped in and do it. And I love that. And Becca, your post this morning was hilarious about what he said. I was rolling. That was so good.
It's so much fun to just poke fun at. I love it. That's what I've kind of decided. I'm just going to make a Leandro post a lot of the times, a Leandro quote.
That's good. That's good. And that's the thing I wanted to make sure that I said too, is like, I think some new coaches, and you guys are both seem self-confident and, but a lot of coaches compare themselves to other people and think, oh, I should be doing it this way or that way. But you both, all three of us, are going to attract a different person, and that's good. So just tell your story, and that if I could get that through to some coaches, I would be so they would just bust out of the seams, but like, just tell your story. Like, I tell the same story over and over and over because it's my story. I just tell it in pieces. And it changes from time to time. But, every single day, I'm just basically telling a part of my story. Some days it's funny. Some days it's really deep. Some days it's spiritual. Some days it's not. But I really am just telling about me over and over and over. So, yeah, don't like compare yourself to other coaches. I don't even follow that many other coaches, I actually I'll friend them and then I'll unfollow them so I don't see their posts, because I can get super compared. I can start comparing myself and get super insecure. And this is a business and stuff, but this is for me, and I just enjoy it. I just enjoy being able to express myself and to help people. And my story is going to be different than yours, and it's going to help a different person than you help. So just every day, we say, I think a lot of people struggle with posting 3 to 4, 3 times a day. They're like, well, what am I going to talk about? But, obviously it doesn't all have to be Beachbody related. It doesn't all have to be health related. You both have families. You have a lot of stuff going on. Christy, you have a child. And, just share about, life. Obviously you want to share that you are working out and drinking Shakeology from time to time. And you want to invite people, obviously, right? So whenever I first started, my goal was to obviously do my workout post every single morning. And I usually took something in the beginning. I didn't really know what to say, so I used that Compound Effect book, a lot of lines from there. There's a lot of good stuff in there. And then as I got more comfortable, I would do that and I got more comfortable talking about myself and my story. And then I would usually try to post like a recipe or a picture of a meal that I had that day. And then in the evening before I went to bed, I would post a motivational picture and say something, that night that was motivational. So those were kind of my 3 posts in the beginning. As I've gotten farther into it, I talk more about my challengers now and about the coaching opportunity and all that, but just 3 posts a day. And, like I said, they don't even all have to be related to coaching. It can be about your family or a trip or whatever, you want it to be. So those are posts, but just being present on social media, because this is a social media business. And if you stop posting, people are going to stop watching, obviously. So that's the importance of the 3 posts a day, is just to be present. And
very helpful.
Do what?
That's very helpful, because, I don't want it to be something where like, what happened to Christy? She's like coming out of the gate. She used to go 3 days without posting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's part I'm trying to like ease into.
Yeah, you're doing a good job at that.
And not also like what am I going to post
Yeah.
today? You know, thank goodness your workout post was so good this morning, because it's like, I do not want to take another picture of myself into it today. So I was like, ooh, I will share her post. And it was sincere.
Yes,
but,
it was.
know,
That's good.
And so everything is just like kind of come to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm like marinating on it, thinking, okay, what can I do? What can I do? And then it's just like, oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
You know, I'll post my lunch, you know, like that today. So because people can tell when it's not genuine.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
and I've posted non-genuine posts and they just falls flat, you know.
Yeah,
And
so that's part of why I'm like, so the 3 steps you just talked about, like motivation, like nobody's going to get tired of seeing a motivational quote,
no,
you know, or a Bible verse, you know,
no,
and if
absolutely.
a Bible verse, it's probably not my friends. So, you know, that's very helpful to get that 3rd one.
Yeah, and even like, I mean, I say motivational, and I do a lot of mine at night are motivational, and they usually relate to health or something, but they don't always, you know. Like tonight, I just posted a picture of us going out and looking at Christmas lights. I probably won't post anything else tonight because I've posted like 4 or 5 times today, and I don't want to drive people nuts, you know. And if I don't have anything to say, I don't, like you said, I want to be genuine. But honestly, a lot of those motivational posts come from personal development. You know, it's whatever I'm reading at the time. And I go through, if you've seen my monthly calendar, like I advertise, my posts relate to challenge groups half the month. And once my challenge group starts, I switch to coaching and inviting to coaching, you know, so my posts will change based on that as well. And, you know, like I will run a lot of times, like, you know, my challenge groups are always scriptural, but you know, if the focus is different, there's a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook, and it talks about social media. And so like next month, Matt and I are going to start Hammer and Chisel together. And so I really would like to attract some some couples and maybe some more men, which I'm not really good at attracting them, but I would kind of like to. And so I'm going to use Matt, and I'm going to talk about Matt. You know, I talked about him doing the Shakeology boost, and I'm going to take his before picture soon. And so it's kind of that jab, 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 so that whenever the Right Hook comes, which is my invite to the Hammer and Chisel challenge group, it's kind of going to make sense, you know. Does that make sense? Okay. So you know, you could start talking a little bit about, you know, like if you're going to invite to a new year, new you. What did yours say, Christy? What was your
renew you?
I love that. That was so good. You know,
I cannot. It's just
that was good. I loved it. And you could start talking about maybe like how 2015 looked for you, how 2016 is going to be different. Maybe you're setting some goals for this year in regards to your health as well as other things. And then whenever you start actively inviting to that challenge group or posting about it, it's going to kind of make sense. Christy's been planning for this, you know, and for a new year, a new you. And so then it will kind of add up. Does that make sense? And I had to learn that. Like my coach told me that over and over and over, and I did not get it until I actually started really doing it. And I'm still not good at the inviting to coaching opportunity. I'm not good at that. I don't know why. It intimidates me, and I'm getting better, and I love it. And it's not that, you know, I love coaching, and it's crazy and sometimes I never would have thought I would do, but I love it. And so, you know, like I have to get better at that part of it. So, you know, I mean, I struggle with posting some things.
Once you, like, Becca has put hers out and you said do it again in a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of my questions. You know, I did the my picture that I'll put with my post night, and then I sent you the picture last night that kind of like advertises or tells like the pose of the challenge, you know, like, you know, and I took yours from September kind of as a way, put those things on there. But like, so is it something that, like, how often should we not repeat our story, but put out the generic or general invite in our post to the challenge? Does that make sense?
Yes, that's a good question. So I typically, and this just works for me. Now, you know, a lot of the inviting, okay, and you guys, I was going to say this earlier, I think because you guys are so real, and I think that you are more confident in who you are, just as an individual. That's going to come through in your posts and your invites, just your daily posts. So I would imagine, and this, I could be wrong, that I would imagine, Becca, I mean, you've already talked about all the number of people, like, you're going to have people coming to you for a little while. You may not, and that's okay. Not all new coaches do, and they still do well. I had a lot of people come to me on a regular basis about, at least asking questions. Not all of them turned into challengers by any means until I got better at the conversation process. But a lot of people are going to come to you probably when you post your coaching announcement, and maybe not. I don't know, but you'll get a lot of, oh, that's great, good for you. Some people will private message you. Some people will say, tell me more. Some people will say, add me to your group. They have no idea what you're talking about,
Right.
And so I still get that sometimes. As much as I post about challenge groups, people will just like, yeah, go ahead and add me, And so anyways, it's fun. But I typically, when I post about a monthly challenge group, so 2 weeks before the challenge group starts is when I really start inviting.
Okay.
And I will, so like on a Sunday or Monday night, I will post my, you've seen my ads that I do, talking about what all the challenge group will involve. And so I'll do that, and it's like an open, general invitation to the challenge group. And I'll talk about, I always bullet point, what people will get from a challenge group, 30-minute workouts, accountability, recipes, scripture, whatever it is, I'll bullet point that so they know. Sometimes I write a blog post about it too. And so I'll do that. And I always put an image. I mean, guys, even if you're talking about, whatever, people will stop and read it if there's an image. And if there's an image of you, I know, Christy, like you said, you're like, well, how do I take another picture of myself? But you just kind of, you get used to it, and sometimes my picture is the same every day, or I make a different face, or, I put different words on there, but people will stop when there's a picture of you. And that's hard at first, because I was like you guys. I mean, I didn't use Facebook except to share pictures of my kids every now and then with people. I had like 150 friends, but so I started using it all of a sudden, started taking pictures, and it was, you just have to get used to it. You can watch other coaches. Like I said, I would definitely follow a couple, and I can suggest people for you. But, just you get used to it. And then so I'll post that general invitation. I'll do it like on a Sunday or a Monday night, and then I might do it like another morning that week. But then I'll just start inviting one-on-one. And then I'll also, so after I do that, that challenge group image, the invite, like I will, like in the morning, or it could be in my morning workout post a couple days later, I'll do my post, and then I'll say, if you want to join me, my next challenge group, just shoot me a message or leave your email below. Sometimes something that has worked really well for me is like on a Thursday night, I'll just post and not even do a picture, but just say, hey, I'm looking for 5 women who want to clean up their diet, who want to get healthy, who want to get stronger, who want to lose 5 to 10 pounds, and could benefit from the support of an accountability group. If that's you, leave me your email below or send me a message. That has worked. Just that simplicity of it. Just a really short post people respond to as well. So, I will definitely, and just behind the scenes in private messages, I'm inviting people every single day. And I can't remember what they say. For every 10 invites, you get 2 challengers, something like that. So, you're inviting a lot, especially as you get farther into it, and in the beginning too, really. But, your conversation skills get better, and explaining the challenge group. And once you have challengers, and you start to, I get more challengers from Tuesday transformation photos than anything. When I share my challengers who have a transformation, and even other challengers or coaches, I really have more people respond to that than anything. And it's just like, again, being proof that it works, and sharing proof that it works, and talking about your challenge groups and your challengers and what they're doing. And a lot of times I'll share stories from my challengers that don't relate to weight loss. It's just, just sharing what's going on, and really so people get an understanding of what a challenge group is and what you're doing there.
Mhm.
So does that answer your question?
Mhm.
Okay, good. Inviting. We talked about inviting this week. Do you guys feel okay with that? You always definitely need to be inviting to something. So, you know, you need to have a challenge group date that you're inviting to, or don't ever just say, hey, do you want to do this with me? It makes a difference to actually have a start date, you know, to kind of give people direction and kind of push them towards, you know, making a decision more or less. Following up, the majority of people that I invite initially either don't respond, or they say, yeah, tell me more about it. They get busy, they get distracted, you know, they leave the conversation, they don't come back. 80% of my challengers come from follow-ups. You know, I mean, very rarely do I invite somebody, we go through the conversation, they order right there. So follow-ups are huge. Every single day I'm following up with people that I've talked to the day before, the week before. Some people you will invite, they will never respond. And I just, you know, I apply it to my life. You know, I'm busy. You know, I can't always stop and check my message or respond right there if I do see it. So I always follow up a day or a couple days later and say, hey, I just want to see if you got my message, if you might be interested. If they still don't respond, I just, you know, move on. But keep up with the people that you're inviting. I am a paper and pencil girl. So I have my calendar. It's just one of those, you know, one of these calendars. And so every day, you probably can't see it, but I've got like names. When I invite people, I keep up with it.
Yeah. What I'm doing right now. I'm like,
Yeah. And
looking-
I've used Asana is a good tool. It's kind of like Evernote, but it's for keeping up with things like that. But I'm so bad about going in there and I'm horrible with it. So I do really a whole lot better just keeping up with it on paper and pencil. And, you know, and at first I would rely on Messenger, just going back through and seeing who I messaged. But it's just I can't do that anymore. So definitely keep up with who you're inviting. And that way too, like if I didn't do that, I would not follow up. I would forget who I invited, and that, you know, it's just an efficiency thing. Let's see what else pictures. We talked about pictures. Definitely, I mean, your face goes a whole lot farther than anything else, even if you're talking about Shakeology. I don't like to post about Shakeology just specifically a lot. I'd rather work it into my posts, you know, somehow, like I did about Matt and that Shakeology boost. You know, I talked about him and how he's not good at getting his vegetables in. You know, I talked about his shake and how I added that to it. But talking about Shakeology is kind of really important, because if you don't, you're going to say, buy this $130 shake, and they're going to be like, what? What is she smoking? So talking about it and talking about what it does for you, you know, for me, I leave the house before 7 o'clock every day. It's a 3-minute meal, you know. It definitely makes a difference in my sugar cravings and my PMS. You know, I talk about that a lot because that's my story. Let's see, my kids drink it. You know, Milo loves Shakeology, and it's packed with vitamins. So, you know, just talking about it, you know, just figuring out how to work that in. I usually shoot to talk about Shakeology at least once a week, if not once a week, every 2 weeks.
Okay.
You know, just to post about Shakeology.
I've intentionally waited until
Yeah.
after I know, like, my story and the challenge to do Shakeology. Because,
Yeah.
like, I did P90 way back when.
Mhm.
I did it like P60 basically.
Yeah.
Finish it. Those things would go forever.
Yeah.
And so I just remember like Tony talking about Shakeology, and I was like, shut up, dude.
I know it.
Like I could not stand him talking about it. I was like, that's so dumb. It's like I have my own like Shakeology issues, and so it's hysterical that like you have to drink it.
Yeah.
So I've intentionally waited. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to finally do it. So I'm like, if I'm drinking this, you know, if I've come to this,
Right.
anybody can, and I love it. So, but that's funny that you say that. So that's good.
And that, you know, that's another thing. Like when people talk about the price, I can honestly say I didn't buy it at first either. You know, I bought the 21-day fix, but I did not buy Shakeology. I thought it was crazy. You know, I was not going to pay that much money for a shake, you know, and so I waited like 3 months. I waited until I signed up as a coach actually to buy it. And so, you know, I can tell people honestly that, and you can do the same thing. You know, you're like, I was sick of hearing about that. I was never drinking that, and here I am, you know. So that's, you know, I think that's relatable. People can, if you can say that to people, they're like, oh, okay, well, maybe she's not just trying to sell me something. She didn't even buy it at first, you know, but now she really believes in it. And so that's important, I think. And, you know, I think, okay, Marsha, I'm going to have to send you her. I'll post her name in the group, but she's a coach that I really like to follow. And her posts never, ever sound salesy. When she posts about Shakeology especially, it just makes sense. You're like, I mean, you read it and it just makes total sense, you know. I'm going to share her. She's a good coach to follow. She's very down to earth and very practical, you know. And so I think that's a good one. But her last name is crazy, so I'll have to post it in the group. But let's see. Tell your story. We talked about that. Invite to something specific. Launch your business. Pictures. Okay, so Christy, you've got the picture thing down. You're good at that.
Listen,
I know your pictures are awesome. So Becca, have you ever used like the word app things? Apps? That's what I was trying to say. Picture word app things.
I have not done that, and I'm very interested in that because the only thing I have right now is PicStitch.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I like PicStitch too. Photofy is one I use pretty much every single day. The one, like if you see me post like a fancy kind of, like I did today, where
Yes.
the words are all, that's Photofy.
Okay.
I used Rona Designs for a while, but you have to pay to get it, and Photofy is so good now. I don't really use it that much. WordSwag is a good one. It's easy, and that one has quotes and stuff in it. So I used to use that one a lot when I didn't know what to say. I would just find a WordSwag quote that I thought made sense, and I would talk about that. So those are really good ones. But yeah, I do find that people, if I put something on my picture, whether it's scripture, whether it's you know, it says don't give up or work harder, or, you know, whatever it is, people tend to stop more and read what I have to say too. So I don't always use that, but I definitely usually use a filter, and I usually add something to my
It's bizarre. A filter, like people will look at a picture with a filter on it.
I know, we're addicted.
Yes, it is. It's bizarre. Like the one I did yesterday, I think it's like at 100 and something likes.
My gosh.
Now, I mean, Connor is in the picture.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't pimp my baby out on her. Like this really like came to me, like we were rolling around the floor. But like people have sent me messages. They've stopped by my office. It's bizarre. Like they're watching, like really watching.
That's the thing. I wanted to say this too, and I will say this over and over to you guys. Like, don't obsess over likes. I still post pictures that I might get like 2 likes on my workout post in the morning, you know, and some days I get like 50, depending on what I say. Usually the ones I get the most likes on are the ones that are really, really genuine and from the heart, you know, like it resonates with people. But don't obsess over likes, because even if people don't like, they are watching you. They are totally watching you. So just keep doing it. Just stick with that consistency. Those 3 vital behaviors. People are watching. And if you're doing all those and you're inviting, it's going to connect, and people are going to come on board. But going back to your kid, like I totally pimped Milo out today with the Shakeology thing. Y'all, I sold all my packs. I sold them. I mean, like I got them today and I sold them. It's crazy. Like people respond.
Do that.
Yeah. So under Matt's account, Matt's a discount coach under me. I guess he's technically a coach, but I work it for him. You know, but like I will buy the packets of Shakeology, and those I sell them as samples, and I sell them for $5 a piece, or I sell them 3 for $12. But you just can't sell them for less than what you would pay for them. That's
Yeah.
that's a Beachbody thing. But yeah, I sell lots of samples, and they don't always turn into people who drink Shakeology, but a lot of them do. So. And a lot of people don't, it's just a way to get their feet wet. But yeah, that's what I do with Matt's. And he drinks Shakeology too. So a lot of times we do end up drinking them, but I do sell a lot of them. And so, yeah, that post today, there had been lots of people who had been wanting to try it, or maybe I have not lots of people, but a few people who can't commit to that $130 every month, and so they will buy like 7 packs from me sometimes, just to kind of get their fix or whatever. So yeah, I do sell Shakeology samples, and
That's great though, like to try the different flavors, 'cause
yes,
I'm having a hard time committing to strawberry for 3 months, but
yes.
3 months per month, but I love it, so that's
Mhm.
very smart.
And there is a Shakeology super sampler that they can buy. It's $30, $29.95 or something, and it has all 6 flavors in it, like all the vegan flavors, and all of them. So if you have somebody who's kind of they don't want to commit, but they do want to try it, that's they can buy that. And it helps your volume, and you get commission off of that, and they have to create an account, and all that stuff. So, and that's another thing. If you go through a conversation with people and they're just not really ready to commit, I usually say, well, do me a favor, go ahead and go to, teambeachbody.com/Becca, whatever it is, and just create a free account. It just makes me your coach. Sometimes I send out emails or recipes and things like that. And that way, when they do come around, if they do come around, they already have an account, and you don't even have to worry about that. So.
I want to ask again about the inviting. You said that, you want to invite them to something specific. And at this point, with this particular challenge group that I am going to do January 4th, if I am inviting somebody every day between now and then, what if I have, in the best case world, what if I have more people than I know what to do with for one challenge group?
Okay.
Then do I start making an announcement about the next challenge group kind of thing?
Yeah, I would say, okay, so I've run some really big challenge groups. Sometimes they're all new. A lot of times it's new ones plus people who want to continue. And I find that when they get too big, you lose people, and you're going to have people drop off after the first week or 2 weeks anyways, and that's just common.
Okay.
But I personally, my ideal number is like 10 people in a challenge group. I find that works the best. Mine are typically a little bit larger because I do have so many people who carry over. If I could just turn some of those people into coaches, they would be awesome coaches, but they just won't do it, but they want to be in a challenge group every month, and that's fine. I don't mind. But yeah, I would say like if you had 10 to 15 people that started on January 4th, I think it would be fine.
Okay.
But, and you may not, you may have a lot of people that you go through conversations with and they decide they can't commit, or they don't have the money right now, or, and those people, that doesn't mean they're out. I think that, typically they usually come around, like I said. But I think 10 to 15 is fine. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you have a lot more, because it is going to be January, I don't know, my January, February, March last year, they were crazy. And so, like I have in those months started one on the 4th and then started one on the 18th, 2 weeks later. So you can run as many as you need to, for sure. I don't like to run more than one a month. Right now I've got 3 going because October was a 60-day one, and then I started November. I typically start my challenge groups the second Monday of every month, because that gives me time to advertise, and that way I hit Success Club and I don't have to worry about it, and then I can move on to coaching posts. But so with the holidays, I started them differently. November and December started early, so I've kind of got them overlapping. And that's okay. It's just a lot more work, as far as scheduling my posts and things like that. But it's fine. I did it that way for my challengers to make it work for them. And so, yeah, I usually run at least one. Sometimes I have to run 2 a month. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Y'all are awesome. I love y'all's questions. This makes me happy. Trying to think. I'm going to run, and I know you guys may not be ready for this or have anybody, but if you have people that are interested in coaching, next week I'm going to run a coaching like a sneak peek. So I'm going to shorten it to 3 days because we're getting so close to the holidays. But I will just post in there and share like videos talking about coaching and the opportunity. And then on Thursday, I'm going to do a coaching opportunity call, which is like a live call, and invite people to listen. So if you have anybody that you think might be interested in coaching with you, definitely you can invite them to that. And I'll post more about that in our team page too.
Okay.
Are you good?
Do you think I should do my announcement tomorrow morning or in the afternoon?
For me, I find that the best times to post, and you can look, like right now, look on your Facebook feed and see how many, if you scroll, you can see there's lots of people online right now. You could do it tonight if you wanted to, and then do it again in the morning or again on Thursday morning. That's up to you. But I think that the best times to post are like around 8:30 or 9 in the morning or, later in the evening for sure. So that's up to you.
I think I'll do it in the morning. I don't know why. I seem to have done good. And that way I can have my workout posts. Like I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then just post.
Yeah. So you would post your workout post pretty early, right? And then, I would say like around 9 or 9:30 or something, you could do your coaching post. And then you could do it again tomorrow night, or you could wait until Sunday night and do it again. Sunday nights are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sunday nights are really good. There's tons of people online on Sunday nights. I don't know why.
That is like I am rushing. Like, it's like a whirlwind for me, like to get ready things.
Yeah. I know. I'm tired by Sunday night. Ready to go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
But and as you go through these conversations, y'all saw that image I posted about the conversation, right? It had all the questions on the left and then the process. That is what I do almost unless I just have like a really major outlier. That's how my conversation goes every single time. So you both have the challenge group description. Do you have that?
Yeah, the one that.
Yes, and I did Evernote today on it.
Okay, good. What, Becca? What'd you say?
The one that you posted in what you do, you showed us like
that
the challenge group description.
Yes, explains the challenge group. Yeah. And then, of course, the way that I think I shared the way that I explained the challenge pack as well. Just that you get, that's big. That's a big thing for me. That I think helps me once I got that down, the way I explained the challenge pack and what it costs, that made a big difference in getting challengers too. Just helping them understand that. So that's a big part of it. And then obviously once you guys do get challengers, I will share with you. I email my challengers that first month. I send Shakeology recipes. You want them to get their Shakeology right, because if they don't, they won't drink it. And then just explain about the Beachbody on Demand and all that kind of, the business part of it. And then I let them know before their Shakeology is going to ship out again, and tell them about, switching to a discount coach and all that stuff. But we'll get into that as you guys get deeper into it. But that's all I have tonight. Do you guys have any more questions?
Not for now, I don't think.
Okay. Well, I will, but let me know, like as you get into these conversations with people, just ask questions. Okay. And you can ask questions in a message, or you can do it here in our Coach Basics page, because I'm sure other people are wondering too. So just ask questions. I'm here. I'm at work. My classes and all that stuff are over. My grades are submitted. So this week at work, I'm like seriously wrapping presents and Christmas shopping. So I am free. Don't hesitate to contact me. So that's what I'm here for. I wish y'all were going to be at our Christmas party on Saturday.
I know, that'd be fun.
I know.